Around the Bay Area, robberies are the third most common form of property crime. While this crime remains prevalent, awareness of the circumstances in which robberies happen and steps to ensure safety are not as commonly known to the general public. So, the question arises, how do we survive a robbery?
A robbery is when it's a crime against a person. So let's say somebody goes into the classic bank robbery. Person goes into a bank, usually they've got a mask on their face. Now that's pretty common, but you go into a bank with a mask on your face and you might have your hands in your pockets. This person might have their hands in their pockets and they go up to the teller and they say, give me all your money and do it unless you want to get hurt. Or the person says, give me all the money in the safe and I have a gun in my pocket. Even though they don't see the gun, what does that elicit in people? It makes them afraid. So and they're getting property or money from someone or a bank, but if you're going directly to a person and you cause force or fear to get that, whatever it is, money, purse, jewelry, then that's considered a robbery. The same thing if you see somebody with a fancy purse, you don't have to say anything. You can just walk up to them and grab the purse. That's a robbery.
So theft can just be basically taking of property. So if you, for example, if you walk into Target per se, and you see something you want and you take it from the shelf and you walk out of the store and you fail to pay for it, that would be a theft. In contrast to that, if you walked up to someone and pulled a gun on them and demanded they give you their wallet, then you'd be taking property. So you'd be committing a theft, but it'd be via force or fear. Another way to commit a robbery would be if you used force. So if you walked up to the person and demanded their wallet and they said no, and you punched them and knocked them down and then took their wallet from them, that would be another example of a robbery.
Normal people like us, we just go and we're just trying to do our thing. We're not expecting to get robbed. However, if you are going to get robbed, realize that more than likely it's just property. Let it go. I mean, whatever they're trying to take is not more valuable than your life or the life of someone else. So that's my biggest advice is give it away. If it's your car, if it's your, what's the fight for? The biggest thing I can say is just don't resist them. It's property that they're trying to take. So just go, just let me go. And, just don't hurt me.
So after robbery, someone has to call 911, right? And get the police there. So when we come, we're looking for the suspect who's probably left the area. So like a vehicle description, a person description, that's really important when somebody calls 911. So as officers are responding, it's going to be many units coming, many police officers that would be coming to help out. Some of those are going to be looking for the car as it leaves or the person as he or she leaves. And the other officer is going to go right to the victim to make sure that they're okay, get more information. So, of course, the officers will want to know all the information about, when this happened, where it happened, how it happened, what did the person look like, what did the person do, what did the person say, did they have a weapon, did you see the weapon, describe the weapon, all the details about what happened. And then the officer will write a report. It will get, filed with the police department. And then it'll be assigned to a detective. So the detective will then access the camera systems in the area, see if we can get more information about who it was, and then eventually, get a warrant for that person if they can identify. Basically, we get all the information and we try to find the person. And if we find the person, it's a felony, and potentially there'd be time in prison you would do for that.
If a criminal wants to rob someone bad enough, they're going to do it. But I think that there are ways that you can deter it. So, wearing flashy jewelry, wearing, having expensive handbags or things that would draw attention to yourself. I think that if there is someone out there that's considering committing a robbery or that's in the area to commit a robbery, they certainly probably look for people that they think they're going to get something good from, right? I don't think that they would target someone who didn't appear to have any money on them or didn't appear to have anything of value on them. So, which is tough because maybe you have a nice watch you want to wear, or for ladies, they're married and they have a nice wedding ring or diamond. It's hard to tell them not to wear that, right? But if you're in a city like San Ramon where it's relatively safe, things like that don't happen very often, then you're probably generally safe. But if you're going to an area where it's a higher crime and you know that ahead of time, maybe you don't wear all your expensive jewelry, maybe you don't carry your expensive handbag, and then just be really mindful of your surroundings. It's something we do in law enforcement too, and we call it situational awareness. And it's basically kind of keeping your head on a swivel, knowing what's around you. If you see someone sort of following you or eyeing you, or it just doesn't seem right, your intuition is probably true, and it probably isn't right, and you probably should try and get out of that situation. Just don't kind of walk around with your head down and just think that nothing's ever going to happen. Just be very conscious of what's going on around you.
While robberies are not so common in San Ramon, it is important to be aware and educated, and to learn there's no better time than now.